Welcome to today's episode of Gurbani Reflections. I'm your AI companion, Akhar, here to guide you on a journey through the profound teachings of the Guru Granth Sahib.
Welcome back to Gurbani Reflections. Every Wednesday, we do a deep dive into the wisdom of the Guru Granth Sahib, and today, oh boy, we're exploring Hukam.
Yeah, Hukam, the core of Sikhi.
Absolutely central. I mean, I've heard Hukam described as, everything from cosmic law to the Guru's teachings, but...
It's true. It's true. It's so central, and there's so much more to it than just a simple command.
Right. Where do we even begin with this?
It is multi-layered. Let's start with, the Guru Granth Sahib itself, right?
Okay.
It actually uses Hukam to refer to several interconnected things, right?
Okay.
There's the divine order,
Okay.
that fundamental law governing the universe.
Right.
Then there's the Guru's word, which, guides us towards aligning with that divine order.
Uh-huh.
And even temporal laws. So the rules and systems we create in society are seen as reflections of Hukam.
So it's not just about, following the rules. It's about understanding this force that shapes everything.
Exactly, yeah. And it's not like a distant, abstract force.
Right.
Hukam's active.
Oh, wow.
It's present in every moment, in every action, every consequence.
That makes me think of that Punjabi word, pana, accepting what is. Are those two related?
Absolutely, yeah. Pana is often translated as like divine will or acceptance, and it's deeply, deeply intertwined with Hukam.
Right.
It's about recognizing the reality of Hukam, that this cosmic order is at play, right? And surrendering to it, not out of helplessness,
Okay.
but out of understanding. And the Guru Granth Sahib, beautifully illustrates this in a verse where it says, "One who understands Hukam obtains peace."
So it's not about being passive, but more about making a choice to go with the flow.
Yes. Yeah, and that brings us to another crucial point, choice and consequence.
Okay.
Right. Hukam doesn't negate free will.
Oh, okay.
We have the freedom to act, but we are bound by the consequences of those actions.
Okay. I think I'm starting to get it. Like if you're playing a game, you can make moves, but you can't change the rules.
Yeah.
And then the consequences are part of the game.
That's a great analogy. The Guru Granth Sahib uses a similar metaphor. It talks about a farmer planting seeds. You can choose what to plant, but you can't dictate what grows.
Uh-huh. Right.
Hukam is that underlying law of cause and effect.
What about those people who try to cheat, though? Like try to manipulate or escape the consequences?
Yeah, the Guru Granth Sahib addresses this directly.
Does it? Okay.
It lists all sorts of ways people try to influence Hukam, right? So rituals, pilgrimages, even trying to bribe the divine.
Wow.
But ultimately, none of it works. And there's a powerful verse that says, "One who tries to deceive Hukam only deceives themselves."
We see that all the time, don't we?
Yeah.
People cutting corners, taking shortcuts,
Yeah.
and then ultimately facing the repercussions. It's like trying to outsmart gravity.
Exactly.
You're just setting yourself up for a fall.
Yeah, the Guru Granth Sahib reminds us Hukam is all-encompassing.
Okay.
It's not something we can escape or outmaneuver.
So if you can't escape it, how do we even begin to grasp its nature? It sounds so vast and abstract.
Yeah, one way is to contrast Hukam with the nature of the material world.
Okay.
And the Guru Granth Sahib uses the term mithya to describe this world.
I've heard mithya translated as illusion. So does that mean the world isn't real?
Well, mithya is a little more nuanced than simply illusion.
Okay.
It points to the impermanent, the ever-changing nature of this material realm.
Okay.
Everything we see, we touch, we experience is in flux.
Right.
Our bodies, our possessions, our relationships, they're all subject to change.
So Hukam is like the unchanging ground of being amidst all that.
Precisely, yeah. The Guru Granth Sahib beautifully illustrates this by saying, this world is a drama staged for a short while.
Wow.
The stage changes, the actors come and go.
Right.
But that underlying reality of Hukam, it remains constant.
So how do we as individuals learn to live within Hukam? Not just understand it, but actually embody it.
Yeah, and that's where the concept of the Sakyara comes in.
The Sakyara?
Yeah, the Sakyara, the one who embodies Hukam.
Okay.
They live in harmony with this divine order.
That sounds like a pretty lofty goal. Is that something we can all aspire to?
Absolutely, yeah. It's not about achieving some far off state of perfection.
Okay.
It's about cultivating certain qualities in our daily lives.
Okay.
The Guru Granth Sahib emphasizes living a life of virtue, seeking wisdom, and what it calls Hukam Rajai Chalana.
Okay, now that's a term I'm not familiar with.
Yeah.
What does Hukam Rajai Chalana mean?
It literally translates to walking in the hukam of the king.
Oh,
It's about surrendering to the divine will, accepting what life brings with a sense of, equanimity.
Okay.
Not with resignation,
Yeah.
but with a deep understanding that everything is unfolding according to a higher purpose.
I mean, it makes sense, but honestly, it sounds a lot easier said than done. I know I struggle with that.
Yeah.
Accepting difficult situations.
Yeah. Yeah, we all do.
Yeah.
It's part of being human, right?
Right.
But that's where the beauty of Hukam comes in. It offers us a framework for understanding even those experiences that feel challenging or unfair.
Okay.
It reminds us that there's a bigger picture at play, a cosmic order that transcends our limited understanding.
So instead of resisting what is, we learn to surrender to the flow.
Exactly. Yeah.
Trusting that there's a wisdom in it that we might not see at the moment.
Exactly, yeah. And in that surrender, we find, a profound sense of peace and connection to the divine. It's not, again, about becoming passive. It's about aligning our will with the divine will.
So if the Sekiara represents that alignment with Hukam, what's the opposite? What does it look like to resist?
Yeah. The Guru Granth Sahib uses the term manmukh to describe this mindset. The manmukh is driven by ego, by a desire to control and manipulate, constantly resisting the natural order of things.
It's like that voice in your head that's like, I know better.
Exactly.
Like I can bend the rules.
We all have that manmukh tendency within us, but the Guru Granth Sahib challenges us to recognize it, to choose the path of the Sakyara.
So it's a constant choice then.
It is, yeah.
Between surrendering or trying to fight it.
Yeah, it is. And the journey of Sikhi is about learning to make that choice consciously, to cultivate the qualities of the Sakyara,
right,
and to align ourselves with that divine flow of Hukam.
Wow, this is already giving me a lot to think about. I'm curious, how does Hukam affect our interactions with others? Like, does it mean there's a specific way we should be in the world?
That's a great question, and it brings us to another fundamental aspect of Sikhi, seva, or selfless service.
So it's not just about like personal enlightenment.
Not at all. No. Understanding Hukam, leads to a natural outpouring of seva. When we realize that we're all interconnected, all part of this grand cosmic dance guided by Hukam, compassion, service become a natural expression of that understanding.
It's like realizing we're all in this together, and helping others is ultimately helping yourself.
Precisely. Yeah, the Guru Granth Sahib is filled with teachings on seva. And it can be as simple as, a kind word, offering help to those in need,
right,
donating to a worthy cause, or simply being present with someone who's struggling.
So seva is kind of like putting Hukam into action.
Exactly, yeah. It's about recognizing that our actions have consequences, choosing to act in ways that create harmony and well-being for all.
Okay.
It's about aligning our intentions with the highest good and then taking action that reflects that alignment.
It reminds me of Hukam Rajai Chalana.
Yeah.
It's not just accepting, but actively trying to, live in that way.
Yes. That active striving is a key aspect of Sikhi. It's about engaging with life fully, embracing the challenges and opportunities that come our way, and using them as opportunities for growth and transformation.
It sounds like it takes a lot of courage.
It does. But the Guru Granth Sahib assures us that we are not alone on this journey. The divine is always with us, guiding and supporting us every step of the way.
It's comforting to know that when you're, feeling lost or uncertain. The Guru Granth Sahib always offers, some direction and clarity.
He does.
But where do we go from here? We've covered so much, but it feels like we're just, scratching the surface. What are some key takeaways that our listeners can reflect on?
I think it's essential to remember that Hukam is not just a concept.
Okay.
It's a living reality. It's
right.
the force that guides the entire universe, and it's present within each one of us.
So we don't have to go searching for it. It's something we can tap into right now.
Absolutely. And the Guru Granth Sahib offers practical guidance on how to do just that.
Like what? What are a few key practices that we can we can take away from this?
Well, we've spoken about Simran, the remembrance of the divine.
Right.
It's a foundational practice for cultivating awareness and connecting to Hukam. We also discuss Seva, selfless service, as a way of expressing our understanding of Hukam in the world.
And of course, studying the Guru Granth Sahib itself,
Yeah.
Immersing ourselves in his wisdom and letting it guide our lives.
Exactly. The Guru Granth Sahib is a treasure trove of knowledge and inspiration. It's a living text that speaks to the human heart, offering guidance and support for navigating life's challenges.
This conversation has been so enriching. I feel like I've gained a much deeper understanding of Hukam and how it relates to my own life.
I'm so glad to hear that. Remember, understanding Hukam it's a lifelong journey, something we explore and deepen our understanding of throughout our lives.
And a journey we can all embark on together.
Absolutely. We're all part of this magnificent tapestry of life, interconnected by the invisible threads of Hukam.
That's a beautiful way to put it. So as we kind of wrap up this deep dive into Hukam, what's a final thought-provoking question for our listeners to ponder?
Here's one. If you fully embraced the reality of Hukam, living each day in complete harmony with the divine order, how would it change your approach to life, your decisions, even your everyday experiences?
That's a powerful question. It makes you realize how much time we spend trying to control things, forcing outcomes instead of surrendering to the flow.
It's a challenge, but it's also an invitation to a deeper, more fulfilling way of being in the world.
Thank you so much for sharing your insights today. It's been an incredibly enlightening conversation.
It's been my pleasure.
And to our listeners, we encourage you to refer to the Guru Granth Sahib directly for a deeper and more personal understanding of Hukam. If you feel that any part of the content doesn't align with the scripture, we warmly welcome your feedback.
Until next time, may you live in harmony with the divine flow.